Okay, so on to the next track in Sammy's Twisted Riff Revolution series. Man, we started off well. We started off with Alter Bridge with a song called Indoctrination. It was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen that and you're only joining us now, I suggest you go back one and start from the very beginning, because this series is going to be absolutely epic. This one over here is called Shinedown, and the song name is literally 45. So I'm assuming they're talking about Donald Trump. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know what this song's about. But yeah, before we even get started, guys, I am running a mini-series special for December, man. I'm going to say this on every single one of my reactions. It's 25. I've got 25 slots for mini-series. It's 5 reactions for $35. It's called the 535 mini-series special, right? It starts from the 1st of December to the 25th of December. So it's kind of like an advent calendar, but not really advent. It's kind of like a music calendar. Every single day, it'll be your series, and it'll have all of the artwork like this. It'll follow the normal form of my series, which a lot of people do like, but it's a mini series, so we wrap it up in a day with your own artwork and whatever else, and it'll be one series every single day for 25 days. 6 slots have already been taken. I do have 19 slots left for those, for anybody who wants to book. I'm leaving a link down in the pinned comment. Shinedown 45. Let's rock and roll, man. Let's see what we got. Let's go.
For a priceless gift, one not subtle, one not on the list. Send away for a perfect world, one not simply so absurd. In these times of doing what you're told, keep these feelings no one knows. Whatever happened to the young man's heart, swallowed by pain as he slowly fell apart. And I'm staring down the barrel of a 45, swimming through the ashes of another life. No real reason.
Bro. Shinedown's a good band, man. I haven't heard a bad song from Shinedown over here. So this over here, you can already see the premise over here. So it's basically a person who's just gone through it in life, right? And is basically like asking for someone to just send something other than what currently is right now. Other than my reality, can you send me something that's gonna save me from the tip of this 45 fucking caliber gun? Like, it's basically, he's got the gun to his head and he's like, this life is not worth living. So it's literally about suicide to a certain degree. And he's almost asking for a lifeline over here. It's like, send me a sign, give me something that gives me some sort of meaning and purpose, that I don't have to consistently swallow my pain, right? As I'm wrapped up in all of this, agony of life, essentially. So quite a hard, heavy-hitting song over here. But yes, sonically, fire. It's quite a big barrel though.
Send a message to the unborn child. Keep your eyes open.
Listen, I'm no gun aficionado, but a 45, what, a 45 millimeter, well, a 45 from certain caliber, whatever, that's a pretty hefty fucking gun. It's no 9 millimeter, right? I mean, I don't know, put down in the comments in terms of what gun would be a 45 caliber. Again, I don't know much about weapons, but I know 9 millimeter is just sort of like your little standard, and then you've got your, I don't know, 45 caliber, and then you got your 50 cal, but that's, I mean, Jesus, that's now, you know, you're committing suicide like a 50 cal would be a little bit of overkill, but 45, that seems quite hefty. Play.
Unborn child, keep your eyes open for a while. In a box high up on the shelf, left for you, no one else. There's a piece of a puzzle known as life, wrapped in
the shelf there's a piece of a puzzle that represents life wrapped in guilt. So it's almost like he's stored his life away because of that guilt. So it's like wrapped in guilt and it's literally stored away. It's not even in use, right? It's almost like saying my life really has no utility to it. It's not even in use because it's so wrapped in guilt that I'm actually ineffective, right? That's why might as well store me away. Very beautiful writing.
Wrapped in guilt, sealed up tight. Whatever happened to the young man's heart? Swallowed by pain as he slowly fell apart. And now staring down the barrel of a 45, swimming through the ashes of another life. No real reason to accept the way things have changed. Staring down the barrel of a 45. Everyone's pointing their fingers, always condemning me. Nobody knows.
Everyone's pointing their fingers, always condemning me, but that doesn't matter. People are always going to point fingers. The most destructive thing is if you're pointing fingers at yourself and you don't know why you're doing it, right? Because that's a lot of the time, like, you don't actually realize, like, we tend to always put ourselves in this box of mirrors, right? Where we kind of like this in this echo chamber, and everywhere you look, it's just you. All right. And the crazy thing is that we are worshipping beings. We're going to worship something, right? And if we don't have something more moral, something more powerful, something more that's greater than us to worship, we're going to land up worshipping ourselves. And in doing that, that's how we wreck ourselves, because we are made to worship ourselves, right? And what actually lands up happening is you put yourself in this mirrored box where all you can see is just the reflections of yourself, right? And then your particular psyche or your particular view of yourself is always going to be reflected back on you, right? And then what gets reflected back on you? All of what's happened in your past, right? So your insecurities, your traumas, and all those kind of things, that kind of shapes who you are in the present, and it will shape who you are in the future unless you are able to actually take that and push it and channel it in a correct way. It's going to shape your thinking, right? And when you are in that negative space, in that space where you are with a lot of pain and you've gone through a lot of trauma, a lot of adversity, your upbringing was hard, relationships were hard, and things like that, and you hold on to that, right? And then you have that sort of narcissistic sort of thought process about yourself where you are in this box of mirrors. What's being reflected back at you is consistently negative, and that is going to hit harder than a sledgehammer when, you know, those are always like, I'm not worthy, I'm not good looking, I'm not this, I'm not that. It just sort of reinforces that negativity the entire time, instead of actually removing those mirrors and replacing your box with glass and looking past at something greater, a bigger horizon than you, right? Losing a bit of sight of yourself for a second and actually looking at yourself in something, in a system that's bigger than you. And all of a sudden that meaning and purpose starts rushing in. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like looking at something, how can I be of service to somebody else or to something else? Do you know what I mean? How can I be in service? And the moment you do that, it's almost like your world opens up and you realize that there is greatness beyond just your existence, right? And by actually acknowledging that, it actually gives your existence meaning, because that's what you were designed for. You know what I mean? You were designed to serve on some level. You are here to serve. But if you're only here to worship and serve yourself, you're going against the natural order. And that's where you start rubbing up against that grain and your life starts eroding, where you turn to vices and life just gets harder. But anyway, that's just my perspective. You let me know if you agree down in the comment section. Let's go.
Nobody knows what I believe. I believe
down the ashes of a 45, looking through the ashes of another life. Fire, fire, clever. Absolutely amazing. You can actually just feel the devastation in his life. Beautiful. Love that song. This series is going to be fire. This series is going to be so much heat. I think you guys are going to absolutely love this series. Anyway, I'll catch you on the very next one. Peace.